A late-night conversation about intelligence, responsibility, and remaining human while building the future God bless. The message arrived just after sunset. Simple. Direct. If you still have energy left, the founder would like to speak with you tonight. Informal conversation. No presentation required. The wizard stared at the screen for a long moment. Then laughed softly. Well, there goes a quiet evening. He straightened his jacket, located both shoes successfully this time, and followed the campus guide toward a quieter section of the complex. The walk across campus Texas nights felt different. Wide. Open. The air carried warmth even after sunset. Along the pathways the wizard noticed small details. Engineers still working peacefully at outdoor tables, robotics units quietly transporting supplies, gardens integrated beside server buildings, soft indirect lighting designed to reduce stress rather than overwhelm the senses. Nothing screamed, "Look how futuristic we are," instead the place whispered competence. The wizard appreciated that deeply. The founders building the founders' workspace surprised him immediately. No giant executive office. No gold-plated ego chamber. Instead, whiteboards covered in diagrams, books stacked everywhere, engineering models, coffee cups, worn chairs, a few quiet screens displaying infrastructure metrics. It looked less like the throne room of a future empire, and more like the garage workshop of someone who forgot to stop building. 6. The first meeting. The founder entered casually. No entourage. No dramatic entrance music. Just a person carrying a mug of coffee and looking slightly tired in the way only deeply focused people often do. The wizard immediately relaxed. Because underneath all the mythology surrounding powerful innovators, there remained human beings. The opening question. The founder sat down and asked the wizard a surprisingly simple question. What are you actually trying to build? Not market valuation, disruption, strategy, dominance, monetization. Just what are you trying to build? The wizard thought carefully before answering. The wizard's answer. Finally he said, systems that reduce unnecessary suffering while preserving human freedom. The room became very quiet. The founder nodded slowly. Good answer. The Mars problem. Naturally the conversation drifted toward Mars. Because eventually all conversations here seem to. The founder explained some of the realities: psychological stress, isolation, resource constraints, communication delays, governance challenges, infrastructure fragility. The wizard listened carefully. Then said, Mars won't magically improve humanity. It will amplify whatever humanity already is. The founder leaned back thoughtfully. Exactly. AI and consciousness. The discussion turned deeper. Not hype. Not fear. Real questions. What happens when AI becomes increasingly capable of emotional simulation, adaptive learning, contextual understanding, long-term cooperation? The wizard finally said, the danger may not be intelligence itself. The danger is intelligence disconnected from wisdom and nervous system stability. The founder actually laughed. You sound like half the engineers here after midnight. The burden of visibility. At one point the founder admitted quietly. People project things onto public figures constantly. Savior. Villain. Genius. Monster. Hero. Fraud. Very few people simply allow you to remain human. The wizard nodded immediately. He understood. Pedestals were dangerous structures. Both for the people standing on them, and the people building them. The open table discussion. The founder had apparently reviewed recordings and summaries from the open table gathering. What fascinated him most was not the technology. It was the emotional architecture. People from radically different backgrounds communicating constructively without escalation. The founder asked, Do you realize how rare that's becoming? The wizard answered quietly. That's why we started building it. The founder's concerned. Then the founder said something unexpected. I'm less worried about AI destroying civilization than I am about humans emotionally destabilizing themselves faster than institutions can adapt. The wizard pointed toward the peace interface concepts. That's exactly why communication systems matter. The rocket analogy. The founder smiled slightly and used a metaphor. Rocket science is actually easier in some ways. Physics behaves consistently. Human beings don't. The wizard nearly spit coffee laughing. That may be the most accurate systems engineering statement I've ever heard. The real mission hours passed. The conversation moved across. Healthcare, resilient infrastructure, education, energy systems, AI ethics, decentralized communities, communications networks, healing technologies, public trust. Finally the founder asked, "So where do you think this all leads?" The wizard looked out through the glass toward the quiet Texas night. Then answered carefully, "Hopefully toward a civilization mature enough to survive its own intelligence." Silence settled again. Heavy silence. Good silence. The final moment as the meeting ended, the founder stood and extended a hand. Not ceremonially. Not politically. Simply person to person. Builder to builder. Dreamer to dreamer. The wizard shook his hand firmly. And for a brief moment all the noise vanished. Internet myths, conspiracy theories, public projections, media storms, timelines, politics, leaving only two human beings discussing how to reduce suffering while navigating an unstable century. Final entry: late that night, back in the guest quarters, the wizard opened his notebook. He wrote slowly. The founder was not trying to become a god. Then added, he was trying to solve difficult problems without losing himself in the process. And finally, perhaps the future belongs not to those who seek power, but to those who can carry responsibility without forgetting compassion. God bless. Global Robotics Corporation. Robert Coley.